Did this person love grapes so much that they ordered to put them all over their gravestone? Are these the graves of the people who were working with wood? Was this man a farmer? No, these are just symbols, mostly meaning something completely different than what they actually show. Gravestones are often telling interesting life stories through their symbols, and this video should make you hear them loud and clear. Today we'll focus on plants and flowers. If you take a look around at your local cemetery, you can be sure to find at least one grave with some kind of a plant-based symbol on it. They can indicate the age of the deceased, the time of death, or just remind you that death is not the end, but the beginning of something new, and a part of the circle of life. Speaking of circle of life, there is no better way to illustrate it than a wreath, which can often be seen on many different types of gravestones. It symbolizes infinity and victory, which could be interpreted as the victory over death in the everlasting afterlife.
This is the most perfect example that I could find. It's a classical laurel leaf wreath, which is inspired by the Julius Caesar wreath. It says here, "Hier ruheten Gott unsere lieben Eltern." It means that the children buried their parents here. And it means victory. Although they are dead, they won.
Wreaths can be made out of many different plants, leaves and flowers, or just flowers, with the rose being the most common one. In Christianity, the rose symbolizes the Virgin Mary, hence the rosary, by the way, but most of us associate rose with love, especially the red one, meaning passionate love. Okay, but why does the rose means love? Enter the Greeks with their goddess of love Aphrodite, which ran through the rose bush, cutting her ankles in the process, while trying to warn her lover Adonis about the danger, which all turned out to be too late, for Adonis was gored by a wild boar, died in her arms, the blood from her cut ankles turned the rose petals red, and that's how the red rose means love now, until we'll come up with something better. This little rose was never meant to bloom fully, and was carved like that on purpose, which makes a lot of sense when you get to see that it is carved on the grave of a little child. The most literal way to show a life cut short is without question with the tree stone. A tree stone is a gravestone that looks like a tree stump, usually acting as an oak tree, with a little shelf for a plaque that is mostly missing, but when it is there, it is either in the form of a glass rectangle or a little stone booklet.
So this is the best preserved example of a tree stone that I can find, and it dates back to 1912. It's not very tall. It's a grave of a little child that was only 4 months old. Hier ruhet in Gott unsere liebes Söhnchen. So here lies in God our beloved son. He was born at the end of the year 1911, and he died on the 24th of April 1912. So this is a rare example where this plaque is still present. Look at the details here. We can see that this is an oak. Oaks are also growing very often at the cemeteries. It's made out of concrete, and it's 113 years old. Yeah.
If a person has departed from the physical world at an old age and wanted everybody at the cemetery to know about that, then they could show it off in a simple way, with a bundle of wheat and a sickle. It is a clear message that the person's soul was ripe for harvest, which means that they lived up to at least 70 years of age. The leaf number 1, or the most common leaf that you can see on a Christian gravestone, is the palm leaf, or the palm frond, which is a palm branch with palm leaves to be exact. It's an old symbol originating in ancient Egypt and later adopted into the Christian religion, in which, aside from meaning the usual triumph, peace and immortality, it also means martyrdom, and was used to mark the graves of martyrs until it has spread to the common graves and now can be seen everywhere. The leaf number 2 would be the oak leaf. It can be often found on the graves of soldiers, and that's because it means courage, strength, and endurance, a powerful symbol of life that often ended too suddenly. The third most popular leaf at the cemetery is the ivy leaf. In popular culture, it is the leaf when one thinks of a cemetery and about what grows there. Ivy is perfect as a symbol of eternal life, fidelity, and rebirth. In Christianity, ivy's 3 pointed leaves symbolize the Holy Trinity or the Virgin Mary. And in ancient Rome, ivy was a symbol of intellectual achievement, given to the winners of the poetry contests. What about the flowers? Why are they present on so many tombstones? Why do we put them on the graves anyway? Some say it was the Greeks, some say it was the Romans, but both agree that it had started a long time ago and was aimed at pleasing the soul of the deceased or remembering the fallen warriors. Wilted flowers are self-explanatory, and there can be many types of them.
This is a grave of a lady. Her name was Elise Friedrich, geboren Gensow, which means that her maiden's name was Gensow. She died at 17th of May 1942, and underneath her there's Ferdinand Friedrich, who was born in 1877, but we have no idea when he died because he never joined her, unfortunately. Beautiful example of wilted flowers. We don't have much of these graves here, the old ones. So wilted flowers, self-explanatory. You don't water your flowers, they die.
So, was that a grave of a winemaker? Well, we cannot be sure, but what I know is that the grapes have a significant meaning in Christianity. Their bunches look surprisingly similar to the human heart, and the grape juice may remind you a little bit of blood, so they are associated with the heart and blood of Christ. I'm not really sure if that means that there are 6 Christ's hearts here, or if that person had really something to do with winemaking. I'll probably never know, unless some kind of a miracle happens. See, that's the beauty of symbols. They can mean many things, you can know what they mean, but you can never be sure if they actually mean what they really mean. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.